I am not enough, or I am too much? What were you told? Were you told when you were younger that you're too busy, too loud, too talkative, too wild? Or were you told that you were just not good enough? We'll work with them both in the meditation. Ready? We can just place our feet on the floor. Taking a deep breath in, coming into the body, coming into the present moment. Settling into those sitting bones, back straight, chest out, breathing deep down into the belly. Deep into that belly, feel the breath coming into the belly and coming out from the belly. Deep breaths in and out, so you're going right into the diaphragm. And rooting into the ground now from the root chakra. Rooting in, feeling yourself almost clamping into the ground, while also lifting right up through all of your chakras, right up to the heavens. So feeling yourself lifted and grounded at the same time. Connected to the earth and your physicality, your physical body, while also connected with your spirit, your soul, your very being. And dropping into that still point. And I'd like to take you on a little journey this morning. Back to your childhood home. If you can remember the home that you were in when you were born, between the ages of birth and 6 or 7 years old. That first the first cycle of 7 years. Just seeing yourself as a small child, and the very first time that you can remember somebody saying to you, you are too much, whatever it was, too loud, too chatty, too busy, too squirmy. And just settle into being that little girl and feeling the innocence of yourself at that little age, and how that came across to you in that moment. Someone telling you you're too much, someone you loved, someone you respected, maybe a parent, maybe a grandparent, maybe a brother or sister. And just feeling into that sensation, that hurt that you felt, feeling you had to dim yourself down, feeling you had to quieten yourself down to be loved, to feel okay. And just looking at yourself now, being you as you are now, your adult self, looking into the eyes of your young self, and just smiling at her and saying, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you feel hurt by those words. I'm so sorry. I love you. You are beautiful just the way you are. be your fullness of you, be your light. What if everything you thought was the wrongness of you was actually the strongness of you? What if you shining your light is what the world needs from you, is what your family needs from you, is what your friends need from you, is what you need from you? And feel yourself taking up a little bit more space now as that little girl, taking up a little bit more space, feeling a little brighter, feeling a little bit stronger, feeling a little bit safer. Let that little girl know that she is safe, that it is completely safe for her to be who she is. As loud and bright and talkative and excitable and squirmy and wonderful as she is. Just sometimes adults lose that ability to see the beauty in that excitement and babbling and wondrous chatter. Sometimes adults get stuck in their stressful lives and their stressful relationships and their thoughts about other things, and they just cannot see you for who you are, little girl. They cannot see your light and your wonder and your beauty. And put your arms around that little girl and give her the hugest hug. That little girl that is you. Let her feel hugged and held and safe, and let her feel all the things that she wanted to feel in that moment when she was told she was too much. Let her express herself as she wanted to. And see yourself now as an adult expressing yourself in the way you want to. As bright and bold and loud as you want to be. Even when you have friends or family or partners telling you that you're too much. Allowing yourself to be all that you are and letting go of anything anyone ever told you or is even telling you right now in your life. Letting go of all of those things that hold you back from being you, all of that restricts you from being your great self, your greatness, your shining, most beautiful light. And really taking on that light of yourself now, taking on that loving, joyful light that you are innately, that you were as a little girl and that you are right now. That unheld back you, that just completely non-resistant, fully 100% naturally, beautifully, boldly you. Breathe that beautiful you in, feel it. And let go of anything anyone said. Let it go, let it go, let it go. There's no reason to hold on. Let it be as it was, let it be as it is, but let it not reside in your body anymore. And now go back into that house, your childhood home, or your childhood garden, or anywhere where you picture yourself as a child. In that very first moment where somebody told you that you're not enough. They said you're not enough this or that. You're not clever enough, or they said you're not bright enough, or they said you're not helpful enough, or they said you're not sporty enough. Whatever it was that people said to you, that where you were not enough, you were not caring enough, you were not thinking enough, you were thoughtless, you were careless, you were whatever it was, anything that anyone saw in you where you felt diminished and you felt less than and you felt that you were not enough. And look at how that little girl received those messages, received that message that they were not enough, and how it hurt you. Maybe even angered you. Maybe confused you, maybe disappointed you. And how sad you felt, thinking that you weren't enough. Maybe it made you think that you weren't going to make it in this world. Maybe it made you think that you weren't going to get ahead at school. Just feel into how that impacted your life as a little girl and how you felt in that moment. And now look into the eyes of that little girl who is feeling small and diminished and not enough. And remind her who she really is. Remind her that some people might be saying she's too much and others might be saying she's not enough, and none of it is true. None of it is true, because she's just being herself. You are just being yourself. And you are more than enough. You are up for any task that is going to come at you. You can work things out. You can figure things out. You're learning. You're growing all the time. As a little girl, you had so much more still to learn. And there may have been times where you thought, yes, I'm not up for this. But now you've had all these years and you've learned so much and you've grown so much. And you've realized that all of it is just growth, that you'll get there. All of it is just this great unfolding of you. You're going to reinvent yourself so many times. Look at this little girl and say to her, she's just evolving as a person, as a being on this planet. She's just getting used to what it feels like to be in a body and just figuring out how much is too much and how much is too little for herself as well, and what feels right and what feels wrong, and how to fit into the society and what feels right to herself as well. And the whole fitting in and trying to be everything for everyone and please everyone, that is a hard path. It's a tricky path. But as an adult now, it's possible to see the beauty in her just as she is. So love her, hold her, look at her, smile at her. Be with that little girl and notice how gorgeous she is. With all that she still has to learn, with all that she has learned, with all that she came in with naturally. Everything that the world tried to dim down with all the rules of society, and everything that the world tried to build up in her with all of the rules of society. And drop down all your barriers now. Drop all the barriers and allow all those judgments, to flow through the body, right through the body, in one side, out the other. Allow yourself to be this empty vessel that takes in the good and the bad, but holds on to none of it. Knowing who you really are, knowing your greatness, knowing your beauty. Give that little girl a really big hug. Help her feel held. Give her all the love she wanted to feel as a little child in that moment where she did not feel loved and where she did not feel lovable. Help her to know that she is lovable at any moment, at any time, without having to do anything, without having to be anything she's not, just being who she is. And coming back into your adult body now. Coming back into this moment in time. Coming back into this time and space. Loving every part of you. Every mistake you've made or think you've made that has led you to learning and growth. Every time you haven't loved yourself or haven't felt lovable, and knowing that's all just part of the process of learning to love yourself. Coming into the beautiful, gorgeous, magnificent, wonderful you that you are being right now. Filling yourself up with the light. That light that you came in with. That light that you dim down for others. Filling yourself up with all of that light that was yours, all of that joy that was yours. All of that natural joy, wonder that a little child has. And the love that they feel for themselves and the world. And look at yourself in the mirror like a child does, admiring themselves. Little children look to the mirror, they go up to themselves and they just look at themselves with such admiration. They smile at themselves. Do that for yourself now. And say, I am enough. I am more than enough. I am beautiful. I am gorgeous. I am lovable. I am loving. I am bright. I am so clever. I have got this. And slowly getting to the point where we're going to open our eyes. Just feel your fingers. Maybe just wriggle your toes a little bit. Come back into the present moment. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Say, I am enough. I am more than enough. I am beautiful. I am gorgeous. I am lovable. I am loving. I am bright. I am so clever. I have got this.